Alright, welcome back to day 2 of the 78-day 77 plus 0 tarot challenge, where we take one card every day and embody that, relate that to what's going on in my life today, as we take a journey through the story of the tarot all the way to the end. We're going to see what changes and what evolves as we go through and the embodiment and the every single card. You got what I'm saying? So, as you know, today's card is the Ace of Swords, and this is just deeply synchronistic and ironic because this morning I woke up to some very fundamental truths that oh man, it just cuts right through the confusion and it's straight to clarity. It's just the truth has come out. And there is no more confusion for me anymore. It makes perfect sense, and it's ironic, and so it's very reflective. And so this is what I wanted to say about the 77-day challenge, is that when you do this and you actually set intentions and you focus your mind on going through this journey of the tarot, it's very apparent stuff happens that coincides with the archetypal imagery you're focusing your mind on. So anyway, so I just want to, I've had a major breakthrough in clarity. So I just want to say that. And obviously it is raining right now, and it's been raining. It was raining on and off yesterday, as you know. I'm going to go down to the beach anyway in the rain. We're going to take a walk. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that I have, some of the breakthroughs in the clarity that I've had. But let's just talk about the traditional meaning of the Ace of Swords first. So, the traditional meaning of the Ace of Swords right now is, is like truth, clarity, a new mental breakthrough, like, clear thinking, cutting through the BS, stuff like that, right? So that's the traditional meaning, and how it relates to my life is, and what we did yesterday with the Ace of Wands was me starting this new challenge and creating a new dynamic for the things that I want to change in my life, the negative patterns that were ruling over me, my shadows and my unconscious, was the reason why I stepped out on this new journey, became the Fool, and then we went in a new direction with the Ace of Wands yesterday. And so what I've learned also is that with the Ace of Swords, relating just in context of how we're doing this journey, clarity doesn't come before action. Sometimes taking action is what brings clarity. The more that I go out on this journey and I start to do these videos, I learn, taking steps and trying to edit a couple of clips together. I've never done that on my phone. It's become very clear about how it's just becoming clear the more that I take this stuff. It is raining so hard right now. So you see what I mean? But I'm going to continue. I'm going to do a couple of other clips. Because it's raining really hard, I'm going to wait till it dies down so you can actually hear me. It's freaking loud because of this tarp. But, yeah, clarity doesn't come from sitting and thinking all the time. And for, like, the past 2 months, I've sat here and thought about how can I show up? How can I show up on YouTube? How can I show up on YouTube? Well, when I just started the challenge, yeah, my first Fool video was like, I was frustrated. I just wanted to start this challenge, and it wasn't that clear, and it wasn't that great, but I just did it, and then it was very clear, and I was inspired, and then I took a new action in a new direction, and I challenged other people to do this. Nobody's watching right now, but you know what? By the end of the 78 days, there's going to be people watching and being like, damn, I want to participate too, and I want to see other people do it. So anyways, so it's like clarity comes after acting sometimes. And I also wanted to say this, is that with the Ace of Swords, we're going to add a sentence for each day that sums up the energy of the card that we experience through the day. So that would be sometimes, so that our sentence for the Ace of Swords today is sometimes clarity doesn't come before action. Sometimes action is what brings the clarity. And I'll give you the other two sentences that I had for the Fool and the Ace of Wands. I have it written down in my phone because every notebook that I've had just got completely moldy and destroyed, and I can't really write anything down unless it's on my phone. So I'm going to cut, and I'm going to go down to the beach and show you some other things. I'm going to look at my notes on my phone to see what else I forgot. So I'll see you in a second. And I'll show you my steak too that I made this morning, as well as my coffee mug. But yeah, so there's more to talk about the Ace of Swords. Just give me a second. Obviously it's just 2 seconds for you, but all right, cut. Dude, it's raining so hard right now. Like, I'm doing what I can with what I have, and it's so loud. I mean, jeez. It's raining so freaking hard. Like, I want to go down to the beach, but I can't even record because it's so loud. But I need to think about some things. There's a lot of correlations that are happening right now, so a lot of crazy stuff. Hold on. Give me just a second. Alright, so I'm back. This is very reflective. My outer world is very reflective of my inner state of being right now, and I'm hopefully I don't get my phone wet, but it's not really dying down. But I really wanted to come down here and show just more of my environment and the reality. You know, this is very reflective of the truth that I am just now realizing, and this is the harsh truth. And the thing about the Ace of Swords is that sometimes the truth can bring, like, you know, it can be awesome and great to have clarity because you know where to go. But the thing about the Ace of Swords and truth and clarity is that it's not always the comfortable lie. It's not always the comfortable lie that you want to hear, and it feels like truth. It's more comfortable to stay in that lie than it is to accept, you know, the harsh reality. The harsh reality is that it's raining very hard right now. It's probably not going to stop, and it's not going to change. I mean, it will change eventually, but my relationship to it is what's changing. And so when I say that the harsh reality, it's easier to, like I said, you know, sit with that comfortable lie and to avoid the harsh reality, you know. And it's not always comfortable. It's not always what you want to hear. But the great thing about that is that when you face the uncomfortable truth, you can actually move forward with, you know, you can actually move forward instead of staying stuck. The thing is, I would sit there and think and ruminate and overthink. And instead of trying to, like I said, face those harsh realities, I would go and consume another video, watch another tarot reading that told me the uncomfortable, you know, the comfortable lie, instead of facing the truth of that I wasn't dealing with the problems right in front of me that I need to be responsible for, you know. And and the thing is that I would just consume another video, think about what to do, get validated on the lies that I'm telling myself, and then go around the loop over and over again. That's why nothing in my life changed. But here's the thing, my external reality hasn't changed yet just because I started the 78-day tarot challenge. What actually happened over the course of the past 3 days is that I took a different action. I started the challenge. And from that action, I have received an immense amount of clarity today on everything, because I started relating to the same circumstances in a different way, with a different mindset. And as you can see, my phone is getting wet. Fuck. But this is it. This is the reality, you know. Gosh, I really hope I don't mess up my phone. But so I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway, you know. I'm gonna be real and honest and vulnerable, and this is, I can't find a place to stand, man. But I mean, the rain's not stopping, so what's gonna stop me? You know, I have to take action, and I have to do this. I have to record the video because I'm staying committed to this challenge. And the thing about that is that the path doesn't, you can't go down the path. Like, talking about the path is not walking the path. Making a tarot video, a tarot reading is not walking it. I am actively trying to apply these archetypal symbols and to my life and to my internal state and what I'm experiencing. And what I'm experiencing is that when I really think about harsh truth and clarity, like, it comes and it's not comfortable sometimes. And the reality is that I was comforting myself with the lie that, you know, passively consuming and talking about it seemed like I was walking the path, but actually no, not at all. It's quite the opposite. And so what I'm realizing as I go through this journey, this challenge, is that, you know, to apply this stuff, every single card on a daily basis, is that the more that this keeps on unfolding, and the more steps that I do take, the more clear it becomes. And that's like the whole thing, right? For the Ace of Swords, but also, you know, the uncomfortable truth and shit. I don't want to keep on repeating myself, but like, what has changed from yesterday to today? Well, it's not my outside circumstances. It's actually how I relate to those circumstances. Is that I'm going to do what I have to do no matter what. I'm still going to upload this video, even though I know nobody's watching right now. That's perfectly fine, but it's still going to be raining. And, you know, I could do the easy thing and just go and comfort myself with lies on the internet and do what everybody else is doing, which is passively consuming more tarot readings and acting like they're spiritual and validating my spiritual ego by saying I'm so spiritual because I do tarot readings. Nope. I'm sorry. And that might be uncomfortable for other people to hear, but it's the truth. There's nothing spiritual about clicking on a video that says just found you for a reason. And I don't mean to attack people or call people out, but that's just how it is. And so here I am, out here in the rain, doing this instead. And the thing is, I would just go through that loop, and thinking about it never did anything. So it's like, as soon as I started taking the action, well, clarity showed up. And so I've said it a few times. I've said it. I'll probably say it again. But it's because I need to look at my notes and see what's next, because I've learned a lot, and I'm processing a lot out loud. But sitting up there comfortably, just in the hammock, not avoiding the rain, I'm avoiding the uncomfortable nature. Like, I should be able to dance in the rain and be happy in darkness and light. You know, avoiding the dark is not, you know, it's the big scary monster, but it's the transformative nature of walking the path. As you go through these uncomfortable things, it's going to force you to change. And the more you run away from it, the more it kind of becomes a big, dark, scary monster that you're going to be afraid of. And so I don't know how to say that any better, but I'm trying not to get my phone wet, but it's getting wet. So yeah, there's the turtles. These turtles come up on the beach and they lay some eggs. You don't want to disturb them because they're an endangered species. That's what those sticks are. Doesn't seem like anybody's coming to the beach today. So Luckily, I got it all to myself. But I don't have to fill all the dead air with silence, the dead air with more words. I just keep on talking. But this is the reality of it. It's like, it's not always gonna be easy, and the more that you just run away from your unconscious patterns, the more it's just gonna play out in your life. You don't want to become aware of it. You don't want to face that harsh, uncomfortable truth. Then, that's what I'm trying to do with myself, honestly and publicly, to show that, like, this is the meaning of transformation, and we're gonna see how do I actually go through as I walk the path honestly. And take the symbolic, the power of this symbolic imagery to really apply it to my internal and my external state. That's exactly what's been happening. So I don't know if that's the end of the video. I'm just gonna say, I really hope that if you're watching this, you're taking some value from it, and that you actually want to break out of the loop that you're stuck in, because I was stuck in the same loop, and this is how I'm doing it, is instead of hoping for the best, I'm gonna hope for the best, but also, like, do something about it, not just passively consume and be a part of the problem. If I continue to add to the problem that I am complaining about, why is that going to help? I have to do something different. And so the whole entire idea of the challenge is to show that you have to go through the transformation. You have to walk it. You can't just talk about it. And yes, I'm just talking about it right now, but we're going to see what actually happens. It could be possible that I just talk about each card every day and how it's applying, but this is how it's applying to my life. And it's ironic that I have had so many sudden insights of clarity that it just made everything click into place about this whole thing. So I don't know if we're going to do the Magician or the Two of Wands tomorrow, but there's still more to talk about. I don't want to keep on repeating myself. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not some curated, like, character that's going to put on a performance and a show for you. I'm here to show you what human life is actually like, being authentic and real. That, like, I'll be honest, man. I just want to share just a little bit of the context for this journey, is that I came to Hawaii thinking that a lot of great things were suddenly going to happen, because I heard a bunch of tarot readings. And that's what led me to do this challenge, was to show that that's not actually the way the tool is supposed to be used. And actually, tools can be very destructive. You can, like I said previously, you can use a hammer to build a house, or you can smash somebody's head in with it. You can use a knife to cook a meal and cut up some meat and some fish, or you can end somebody's life, and that's this is a tool for transformation and growth. And when we use it in a destructive way, as, like, gaslighting myself and telling, like, because I could sit here and do readings and say, hey, this is how this is going to go, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I told myself the uncomfortable lie, or the comfortable lie, to just avoid actually dealing with my problems. And I got myself into a shitty situation where I pretty much ended up, with nothing. But then, through all that uncomfortable stuff that I tried to face my fears, I was trying to face my fears and take a leap of faith and go do something new and be optimistic and go on a new journey. That was me. I was being a little bit naive, not gonna lie, but to me, I was just optimistic and ready for the future and seeing what could happen. I was really embodying the Fool to the fullest. But, now we're gonna see how the Fool goes from, the Fool to the end of the world, the cycle being completed, becoming the Emperor myself, integrating, aspects of my divine feminine or divine masculine to work together, my intuition and logic to work together to actually create something that is worth living, not just a static routine that puts out this image that I am something I'm not, to validate my spiritual ego and say that I'm so spiritual, look at me, look at all this stuff I've done. No, this is actually just the raw truth of it, is that, hey, I naively believed a lot of other people online, and I ran away from my problems, and then next thing you know, I find myself in a weird situation, and then I loop and instead of avoiding avoiding the uncomfortable truth, I comforted myself, and then I just got stuck in the same loop over and over and over again, which is very strange, and I didn't like that. So I decided to change, and we're gonna see how that path unfolds as we continue. So I don't want to keep on repeating myself, but you get the gist of it. That's what it is. So I'm gonna go back and try to get dry now, and we'll do a reading and talk about this some more. Alright, I don't know if you can hear me, but we're going to do a quick reading to sum up today's video about the Ace of Swords. I hope that I captured everything I wanted to. I hope I did, because I got to stitch this stuff together, and I'm starting from where I'm at. This is it. So, like, if you can't accept where you're at, I mean, how are you gonna start? You're just gonna avoid starting, and by starting, I've realized clarity comes when you start. And I'm not avoiding the uncomfortable things that I don't wanna look at, within myself and my external reality. I went out there and I got wet anyway. Hopefully my jacket gets dry, but it's not going to stop raining, so I'm not going to I'm not going to make an excuse and say I can't do this because it's raining. No, I'm doing what I can with what I have, and I'm starting from where I'm at, which is right here. I can't take the step of the journey when I'm down there. Just because I want to be down there doesn't mean that I can't take a step right here, Just because it's raining doesn't mean I'm gonna freaking stop. So let's come out. Let's do a mini reading today, intuitively guided, to talk about some of the themes that are popping up so far. Hierophant on the bottom, Four of Wands on the split. I don't know if you can see me. I probably look terrible again. This is not a good angle, but this is what I've got. This is the best I've got, and I'm not trying to polish things and make it look like something I'm not, Goes back to that spiritual ego. I can say that I'm a ultra ancient wise dragon from a different dimension, but that doesn't help me be any human right now, There's a reason why I descended into matter to become human in the first place. Is that so I can learn more hard lessons that are and maybe that's the uncomfortable truth that I didn't want to face, is that I don't want to be human. I don't like human. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. You make mistakes. It is what it is. But if I lived in heaven forever, flying around with my dragon friends, it's fun and everything, but I don't get to evolve or grow or change or do anything. I'm just going off to have fun at the skate park, which is funny because that's what I was doing. I was like, I just want to have fun, because sometimes it seems like life drags me down, but that's kind of what forces us to change. I don't know, is the uncomfortable stuff. Anyway, I gotta stop rambling so much.
I just have so many interesting things I want to share. So what's going on today? Oh, the perfect. This is perfect. The Seven of Cups. So this is about illusions. You know, these are the illusions that we sell ourselves. We tell ourselves that, oh man, there's so many illusions that we could get captured in, and we could, I could get caught up in daydreaming about the fantasy life that I want to have. And then I can also tell myself the illusion that I don't even really want it, because I don't really want to work towards it. And it's not that I'm avoiding work, it's that really I want to be efficient with what I'm doing. So a lot of times I fantasize and idealize, and I only look at the illusion of like what I want to see. And a lot of times people are casting illusions of who they are, and you know, like I said, creating that polished version of self to make it look like, you know, just to create an illusion, craft an illusion, an identity that's not authentic and not real and not true. And the Four of Cups. So this is like an emotional thing for me too. It's like there's a theme of emotions here. 7 and 4, 4s and 3s. 4 plus 3 is 7, 7, 7. So with the Four of Cups and the illusion, it's like really that illusion was keeping me stuck in boredom and trapped in a not doing anything and being disappointed. Like, I don't like the way this is. I'm just sitting here consuming videos and nothing in my life is changing. But the cup that, you know, Spirit was offering me was this challenge, this ability to step out, have fun, enjoy the process of transformation by embodying these archetypes. And so that's, I'm going to reach out and take that cup and that new idea and go with it. And okay, so the Moon and the Five of Cups. A lot of emotional disappointment. This is emotional regulation for me. Is like, really the truth is that I need to just sit with my uncomfortable emotions and actually say, hey, you know, I'm disappointed by this situation that I find myself in. That optimistic future that I was so, you know, that fantasy that I was so captured by, that I wanted to chase after as a fool, disappointed me. It's very disappointing to realize, gosh, it's so loud. And it won't stop, man. It just won't stop. You know, it's been hidden underneath the surface, the moon. Kind of like, it was hidden underneath the surface that really I know I was disappointed by this. I hate having to yell. But this is how it is, you know? It's disappointing, but I gotta turn around, stop looking at the spilt milk, stop sitting around festering and staying in the illusion. And unfortunately, look what's in the darkness, underneath the surface in the unconscious, in order for me to actually change. So let's wrap this reading up, because it's freaking loud, and I want to put this stuff together and post it. Wow. The star and the sun. That's crazy. So this is, I mean, this for me is like ultimate potential wish fulfillment. Like, you can't really realize your ultimate potential until you face that unconscious stuff that you're unwilling to look at, and you gotta escape the illusions. That you're not facing those uncomfortable emotions and underneath the surface that you refuse to look at, and you wanna create this illusion that is easier to comfort you and to run away from it, you know? And so that's how you can really truly be happy, is once you can't really, you know, do that until you get through this stuff. And that's why it's very reflective of the whole entire 78-day journey, is this is how it's going to unfold, is once we finally get to this, we're talking about number 17 yeah, 15, 16, 17, and number 19, I guess. Yeah, number 19. So number 17 and number 19, we'll see by that day, about like, I don't know, day 30 or something. We'll see what kind of potential will be revealed once we get to those cards. The way that I'm structuring this, I just want to say, is that that's good enough for the reading. I just want to say the way that I'm structuring my challenge, you can structure it however you want, but I'm inviting you guys to do the challenge however you see fit. What I am doing is essentially I'm taking from the majors, and I'm picking out a minor, two or three minor cards for each major, and we're gonna go in the progression of 0 to the world, and each one I'm gonna pick a minor to do. So tomorrow could either be the Magician, or I could do another minor, which would probably be the Two of Wands. But and that would be choosing a direction and a new enterprise, the birth of a new world, the creation of a new thing. And so I don't know how that would apply, but also the Magician could apply as like a, I wish it would stop being so loud so I could talk at a normal level. But this is the way it is. So we're gonna do it in that way. You can do it however you want. I encourage you to join with me. Don't just passively consume and worship me. I'm not any different than you. I'm taking a humble approach by trying to not have a spiritual ego and trying to say this is what transformation looks like. You know, we can sensationalize it and create this image online that's quite frankly not real, and that's what I'm trying to do differently. And I keep on repeating myself, and I'm going to keep on saying that message throughout this journey. But this is how it is. You walk the path. You don't just you don't just passively consume, and that's what I had a problem with myself. I'm not calling you out. Anyway, so if you want to do this, start from wherever. If you feel like you want to take a tree of life path, if you want to do the majors first, if you want to do the minors first, if you want to do the wands, if you want, you can do it however you creatively feel like doing it. But I inspire you to do it and post it online and come join with me, because we should change this dynamic and everybody can grow together rather than separately and worshiping other people through a screen, creating parasocial dynamics that are not healthy for other individuals. You know, I don't want to just leak and suck your energy and take your time and attention and inspire you or trick you into watching more videos so that you can worship me. You know, this is about you. This is about, like, yes, it's all about me, but I'm just being an example. I'm walking the path and trying to be an example of it rather than be somebody who's high and mighty and on a pedestal. And so that's why I'm encouraging you guys to everything is getting wet. So yeah, I invite you. All right, so if you want to do the challenge, find me on Instagram. My link, it will be in the description. Read the description and leave a comment. Tell me what you got out of this, how you're going to apply it to your life. Instead of going to watch another video, let's make a video and join with me. Because if you can do this consistently for 78 days, you never know how much your life will change. And you can see how I went from basically nothing to I don't know what's gonna happen amongst these 78 days, but we're gonna find out. You know, maybe nothing. Maybe I have to do this a couple of times in life. You know, maybe you know. But the point is that you're walking the path. You're not just talking about it. And so by taking. All right, so it cut off the last few seconds, but I just want to say, to end it off, the Ace of Swords brings truth and clarity, and sometimes it's not comfortable, and
sometimes you can think all you want and you'll just confuse the hell out of yourself, and clarity doesn't come until you start taking action. Sometimes taking action brings clarity. So I know I said that a few times, but I'm just gonna wrap it up. Leave a comment, let me know if you're doing good, and I'd love to see your videos. You don't have to post them, but just let me know, let me know if you're following along and if you're going to join me on the challenge. Send me a message on Instagram, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens as we walk the path together. I'll see you out there. Thanks for staying all the way to the end. Have fun. See you later.